Hello, everyone. Welcome to this episode of the Mind of the Martyr Interlude. It's been a little while since we've had one of these, but I'm super excited to jump into another one. These are always wonderful, wonderful little breaks from the main campaign itself. I am here with Austin, and we're going to go ahead and jump into a little mini one-on-one session here. Just to cover real quick a few of the usual channel things before we go ahead and jump in. We do have a few affiliates and sponsors that I do want to very, very quickly mention. We are affiliated with the wonderful folks at Dice Envy. You will see a link pop up in chat that you can go ahead and use and pick up yourself up some fantastic dice. You can go ahead and using the link will support the channel itself as well as supporting Dice Envy. They make some pretty cool stuff, so you should definitely go ahead and check them out at their website, which is also Dice Envy. You always need more dice, so go ahead, check them out. We also have the wonderful folks at Grinding Coffee Co., a black LGBT plus owned coffee company, who have a fantastic variety of flavors and blends. You can check them out at Grinding Coffee Co. online. They support a whole bunch of streamers. Supporting them supports an independent company. You can throw in FWRD for some money off your order. And of course, we are a Roll20 ambassador stream. Roll20 is an online toolset that allows you to bring TTRPGs and pen and paper RPGs online around the world. It is the reason that we can play this game in the first place, with the maps and things that we keep track of during our combat encounters. It is a fantastic reservoir and marketplace for all kinds of games, whether they be more well-known ones or a fantastic treasure trove of wonderful indie games that you can go ahead and jump into. You can go ahead and sign up for free at roll20.net or pay for a pro package, which gives you a whole bunch of bonus tools and features to level up your game. And it's good fun. There's a whole bunch of events that they hold, there's a whole bunch of sales that they hold, and they are fantastic at supporting independent creators in the space. So go ahead and check them out at roll20.net. This is how we roll. And with that out of the way, let's go ahead and jump into the interlude real quick. So, this interlude takes place pretty swiftly after we left, for once. The last episode the folks at home would be seeing, Nawi was split away from the party, bringing the mounts back through Zenri, through Ansaya, and eventually will be making their way both to your home in Stonehaven and to the capital itself. Nawi, being an expert at both navigation and surviving on your own, has no trouble making your way, but even so, it's a few days' travel, at the very least, so there have been a few nights where you've stopped off. We're picking up just after the second touching base that Nawi does with the rest of the group before they go out and do their thing as a night on the town. You feel an underlying confirmation, just a transcendent feeling almost, that your animal messenger does indeed find its target. A small bit of comfort may come to you from that. The night is clear, the stars above are as beautiful as ever, different than the ones in the Vale, but by no means less beautiful. The two moons sit on either side of the horizon still and break through the tree lines around you, ever so slightly, now and then. A lot of the normal wildlife has gone to sleep at this point. There's still the occasional noises of nocturnal animals that have simply begun their day. This whole little makeshift camp that you've created is peaceful. I say makeshift. You are, of course, incredibly skilled at this point. Um, there are a few later night travelers that you see a ways away that are making their way through the paths, but other than that, it's a calm night. What would you find yourself doing on a night like this?
I'm probably looking over this dragon skeleton to see what's useful. To see what like I think now being from the Vale, it's very I don't want to waste anything if it could be useful, and anything that isn't useful I'll make sure is properly buried. Um so I'm looking over like any smaller bones, I'm probably like that'll get buried. I'm not like um I probably wouldn't have any use for the skull. So like any rib cage bones. I don't know if your dragons have wing bones. I don't know if they're like wings that like have bone in, or if they're like
Mhm, mhm.
typical wings where it's like all thin bone. And so when the flesh falls away, there's not really anything there.
There's a
But probably
few, yeah, a few like larger support bones that create the wings. They're kind of, they're kind of somewhere in between like actual wings and like the fantasy style, like
hmm hmm
you know.
yeah,
Um, yeah, it doesn't take a lot of time for you to discover um, that the skeleton has been kept in remarkable condition.
hmm
Um, and other than a few pieces that were kind of taken away and kept in those kind of jars, the vast majority of the skeleton is intact here.
mm.
So you have pretty much the lay of whatever you would like from this thing.
Definitely the teeth. She's like I could use the teeth for tips. Uh she doesn't know what to do with the rib cage and spinal bones and stuff. She's like, sword, spear, question mark, question mark. Uh, she doesn't know how to fashion armor, but she's just like, when I get back, what am I gonna hand to Kata and be like, make something, make me
Mm-hmm.
some stuff, and the rest of this I need buried, but not by you. I don't trust you. Uh, so that is probably what she's doing because she wouldn't look over the feathers because that feels very she doesn't understand that is like too magical, but
Mm.
this like physical thing she understands there's probably inherent magic in it as well, but she's like I can like start thinking, so she's probably going over that. Probably had all her stuff out to clean them, but if they've been kept that nice she's probably just finding she doesn't need to. So otherwise probably just cleaning her other tools, and I don't know, very much probably what you think of survival suit to pass the time. They like set up the camp, then they clean up all the stuff from setting up the camp, then they clean up the stuff they used to clean up, then they are like, time to go forage. So somewhere around the time she probably like tell Lupa to watch over all of the other mounts. Unsure on their like animal to sentience level, right? Because like Lupa, she understands she can like tell stuff to, and she knows like Shikari's kind of like that, but she's unsure about like all of them. So kind of just tells Lupa like, don't let anyone leave. Like, I'm gonna go like get us all dinner.
All right. Indeed. Um, there is a difference in sentience levels between or awareness levels between a few of the mounts, but it's not too much trouble for Lupa to keep them all in check. Make sure that they're all safe and secure before you go out and take a look around the local forest and forage a bit. Um, As a ranger, that's not a hard task. You can go ahead and grab whatever you would like. Um, but as you're out and you're foraging and grabbing whatever materials and whatever food you require, there's a noticeable chill that you pick up on in the air. And it stands out because it's so abrupt. And you're in the middle of summertime at the moment,
Mm-hmm.
in terms of like world climate. So this is immediately strange.
Hmm. Can I see? Do I see or hear anything that's weird?
Not quite yet. Um, you take a kind of quick sensory look around to keep on your toes and don't spot anything just yet. But there's definitely something. There's this underlying sense in you that something is here.
I would like to just like throw a rock. I want to do the thing where you like you throw a rock into like a part of the brush you're not in to see if anything stirs towards that direction or something.
Okay. You go ahead and toss a stone, and as soon as it hits the ground, it rolls a couple of times, and there's a moment of silence before you hear some soft but confident steps into the grass. There's this very slow, almost regal kind of foot pattern, and breaking itself out of the brush where the stone you had just thrown is. You see this large creature step out. You immediately clock that this creature is not one of this general area. There is a mixture of damp and ice across a black, very dark black set of fur. The creature itself is elk like. That kind of very thin, very fast, very flighty kind of build. With these kind of like, I suppose they'd be more of a moosey kind of horn. These very kind of like wide, large
Mm-hmm.
sets of horns. And where the cartilage kind of opens up into more of the wider section, there are two bright white patterns. They almost look like eyes here. The creature steps forward and locks eyes with you directly. As it locks, you can see the eyes themselves are also just white with small speckles that seem to almost move throughout itself. It pauses as it has now revealed itself, looks towards you.
I use speak with animals. Are you lost? You seem very far from wherever you call home.
I am not lost, but you are found.
I think now we grips her bow. I am a hunter. I I mean you no harm, but if you are working with somebody to hurt me, I'm very good at hunting animals. That is all I will say.
A hunter must hunt, and my mistress requires a demonstration. Steel yourself. As
I
they.
think
Sorry, go on.
as I think now we just sort of looks around. I'm not really a fan of that sort of thing, but I am not going to sit here and die either. So okay. And she'll get ready. She'll knock an arrow. Remind me, what damage type does my dragon wing bow you gave me do? Is it thunder?
I believe it was a thunder one. Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna make a note of that so I can stop forgetting.
It's either
I've only used it
thunder
like
or
twice.
electric. One of the two.
Yeah,
I think it was thunder, because that's the less resisted damage type.
heard.
Wonderful.
Yeah, I mean, if I can, I'm just gonna shoot this thing. But you're gonna make me roll initiative.
Kind of initiative, yes. I want to see who rolls faster, or who ends up being faster.
21.
Alright, you do indeed get a chance to do something before this creature moves.
Uh, I mean, I'm going to shoot it with my bow. At least that's for my first trick. 19.
Will certainly hit.
Nice, nice, nice. That's so funny. It takes 3 thunder and then 8 piercing. My first trick.
Alright. First
And
arrow strikes, and as soon as it hits, there's this slight kind of rumble as the latent magic disperses. The creature doesn't seem to be pained, but it is very clearly sustained a wound.
For my second trick, that's 6 thunder and 11 piercing.
Beautiful stuff.
And for my last trick, I'm going to duck back down into the brush and use my bonus action to go invisible and like crouch walk, move to a new position.
Your movement seems to remain undetected as you fire these 2 bolts and then vanish into the natural world around you. The creature itself takes a moment to reorient itself. Looking at the 2 wounds it has sustained, it takes a moment to survey the terrain. You see as those 2 white, kind of like almost paint patterns in the horns, one of them shifts and turns from a white to a black. The other remains white. And it pauses, takes one more look around, and then takes a few steps forward before very visually stealing itself. And that is it.
Okay. Sure. Uh Can I want to get up in a tree. I can climb as movement speed, so I would like to go up into a tree.
Absolutely.
Uh and I want to leap out in a way to bring my the 11 lance down on this thing.
All right.
So should I just roll the hit for that?
Certainly can. Yes, absolutely. Please.
23.
Will most certainly hit.
Sick. Extra D8. That is 3 lightning damage and then 8 piercing damage as I come down.
Amazing. So, as you now get closer to the creature and you dive down and bringing the lance up, striking against this creature, during the journey, uh, it's held action triggers.
Sick.
And I need you to go ahead and make me. I need to remember what save this is, which is why I was looking it up.
You said Constitution saving throw?
I think it's Constitution. Yes, Constitution, please.
That is a 14.
Just fails, but not by much.
Mm-hmm.
As you dive down during this movement, the white pattern glows, and a huge burst of light is sent careening towards you. You take 15 points of radiant damage.
I take 30.
But your attack still continues through. As you are immediately struck in the air, the force of your movement and strike cut through the beam, and you manage to strike directly into the creature.
Sick.
The rest of your turn.
The rest of my turn. That's what I rolled last time. With the lance, 5 lightning and 11 piercing.
All right. Another strike across this creature. It doesn't seem to bleed. It doesn't seem to react to your strikes, but there are very clearly marks being made against it. So,
I think I growl, like, as my lance is in. Who sent you? What is going on?
anything else?
Mm-mm.
Okay. As the creature itself pulls itself back up from from the weight of your strike, its head kind of swings from side to side for a moment as the horns light up with this dark, black, almost fire that wreathes across them both, and it swings them at you for 2 attacks. One of them is going to whiff entirely. The other, I think, connects with an 18.
Yeah, I have a normal number.
Regular AC.
Regular AC here. You're thinking of everyone else.
Dealing That's not a lot of damage. Dealing 9 points of necrotic damage.
You mean 4 points?
Mm-hmm.
I resist like almost everything but radiant I'm vulnerable to. Or was this acid, cold, fire, lightning, necrotic, psychic?
You are quite the tank when it comes to resistances, to be honest. You are,
Yeah,
yes.
but you just never hit me with the right. People are like your AC, and I'm like, if you just hit me with the right type of fucking damage. When I dip barbarian later, it's all going to be fine. It'll all work itself out.
So one of the strikes you go ahead and deftly get out of the way of, but the other kind of catches you across the stomach. And there's this immediate burning sensation that you recognize, and thankfully it dissipates. There's this slight a fragment of a memory almost that comes into your mind as you remember for just a moment lying there, fighting against the brink of your existence all that time ago, looking up to the natural canopy above and having someone pull you back. That scene in your mind, so to speak, fades as you look at the creature before you. That is all it's going to do. So it is back to you.
Back to me. I don't like it making me think that at all, so I'm going to Misty Step off of its back. Just like 30 feet away somewhere. And then hold the lance at it. And I need a dexterity saving throw.
Okay. Dexterity saving throw. That is a 14.
Not enough. 68.
Nice.
68. Dice roller.
So I can't be bothered to roll all those.
Yeah, absolutely not. Not gonna do that.
That's
Whoa.
maths. I didn't sign up for maths. No.
Yeah. That is 30 lightning damage.
30. Damn.
Yes.
Alright. The shock rips through the ground and strikes against this creature. And for the first time, you see it wince as it staggers backwards, gritting its teeth before pulling itself back up into its neutral stance. A significant blow against this thing.
I like bare my fangs almost, and I say in primordial this time, who sent you?
Pulling itself back up, looks towards you as the white shifts back again. You will learn very soon. This is the fire that they wanted to see. Embrace it. Strike harder.
Your funeral then.
The creature bows its head before raising it back up, and that same brilliant white light begins to form at the antlers before firing towards you. This time I need you to make a dexterity save.
Dexterity save. Those I can do. Oh yeah, I'm really good at them. Okay, 19.
All right. This time, the beam, instead of being quite so wide, it seems to narrow as it approaches you,
Mm-hmm.
approaching to a very fine pinprick
Oh, like
bolt of
oh yeah, yeah,
energy.
yeah.
And it's as it narrows that you immediately clock it and just, with ease, let it glance to the side of you. It crashes into a tree behind. As soon as it strikes in, you see it wiggle and writhe in the tree for a moment before it. A small little detonation of radiant energy. The creature, as you move, uses its bonus action to shake its fur for a moment. You see that three small, thin black lines fall out of its fur and begin to rise up and hover and kind of just circle around the creature itself. That's all.
Strike harder, you got it. I will use. Whoop. I will use my bonus action to activate my aspects. Excuse me. I'm just gonna run at this thing with the lance. Full force.
All right.
That is 15.
15 does hit it.
You also have normal AC. Hello. I would also like to make us a favorite foe, so we'll take an additional D6.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So I need to make my little dice pool. Favorite foe. Aspects. Lance. Lance? I think that's it. That's it. That is 3 lightning, and then 8, 9, 15 piercing for the first hit.
Alrighty. Um, let's go ahead and roll here. No. As you run up, it burns its reaction to try and fire one of these small, thin, kind of black needles that have appeared around it. And once again, whiffs completely as you very quickly, deftly dodge and jam this weapon into the body of the creature. It once again, its eyes kind of wince. It staggers slightly. The force of your attack.
Second one's a 23 to hit.
Go ahead and roll that damage.
5 lightning, 2 force, and then 9 piercing.
Damn. Another solid strike.
I'm not talking to it anymore. I am growling, if anything.
You are going. You are all right.
Yeah.
Cool. Awesome.
I think there's like this splatter of like sweat off of Maui from the exertion so far that like glitters off her scales that shine when she activates her aspect, and row of sharp teeth whenever she activates it, and she is just like grunting and growling as she swings at this thing.
All right. The beginning of its turn switches to black once again, and the flames wreathe across the antlers once again. Its first attack, however, as it spins its head around and kind of almost attempts to rear up slightly, its head tilts and moves, and it's going to attempt to catch your blade and attempt to disarm you.
Oh.
So I would like you to go ahead and roll me a strength save, please. It's going to be a contested strength save against its strength.
Ugh. Hopefully it rolled bad. I rolled garbage. I
It
only
is.
got a I only got a 9. I rolled a 2.
Ooh. I mean, a 9 for a 2 is still pretty good.
Yeah, I was like, I have to roll pretty bad to get under
I
a
was like,
10.
unfortunately, it did roll a 13 on the die. So it spends one of its attacks as you're slashing and growling against this thing. You see a sudden burst of agility from the creature, as in one swift movement, you see the antler lock underneath your arm, put pressure against your wrist, and in one fell movement, just you see the blade spin in the air before landing about 10-15 foot away and kind of just indents into the ground. It still has one more attack, so as it's done that, it's gonna go for the same arm that it just disarmed you with. It does a 15 hit.
Yes, it meets.
Okay. So as it's pushed into your wrist there and kind of like
Mm-hmm.
loosened your grip, and the blade has flown away, it immediately goes for your upper arm and just strikes with this antler across, dealing. I forgot to roll a die. Sorry. One sec.
No worries.
Dealing 10 points of necrotic.
Heard.
Obviously, with your resistance as well, add that
Yeah.
in.
Yeah.
As it slashes against there, and even though you can't see you can't see a blade or anything, it
Mm-hmm.
still has left a significant gash across your arm.
Uh, I think I see the lance about 15 feet away, and I look at this thing, and I just like reach on my thigh, and I pull out the acid fang dagger. I'm not gonna go get it. I'm staying right here. I will swing with the dagger. I will use my bonus action to bless it to have it do an extra d4 of acid. So it'll do 3d4 acid instead of the additional 2d4 acid.
Fantastic.
My first swing is a 14.
A 14 is its AC, so you met it.
Sick. What's up, normal AC club? Oh my gosh.
So like a 22 misses. What do you mean a 22 misses?
So many dice. Okay.
I was gonna say, we have like 3 damage types happening here, right? 3, 4? That's good stuff.
Yeah, there's force, piercing, and acid.
Nice.
Oof, okay. It's 8 piercing. Oh no, it is 9 piercing, 6 force, and then 8 acid for my first trick.
Alright.
For my second trick, Jesus, there. Okay, that's like a 24. I think it's confirmed that now we only crits to impress Dewan at this point. The amount of times I crit when I'm fighting in front of Dewan versus the amount of times I've crit tonight is like obscenely different. And it's proof that now he's like, I mean, my girlfriend's not here. There's no rush.
Now he's just like, I can play with my food. It's fine.
Yeah, literally. Uh, that's 4 force. Uh, 10 piercing, and then 5 acid for my second trick.
Fantastic. Again, 2 very solid strikes. The acid does indeed take hold, as you would expect. It hasn't shown any visible resistances yet. Um, is there anything else you'd like to do?
Action bonus action. I'm not moving.
All right. Having taken these 2 attacks from your dagger, realizing that maybe disarming you is not the best idea.
Good luck. I have so many weapons.
It is going to attempt to knock you prone. Note I say attempt. First of all, with this attack, these rolls are just getting like incrementally worse. I'm assuming you have more than 13 AC.
I do. It's not that normal.
I like to imagine in my mind as these 2 dagger stabs have gone in, you see the antlers kind of come towards you, and as the antlers meet in the center, you just kind of catch one with one hand, parry the dagger with the other, push it back. It takes a few steps before smiling. And it is a very obvious smile.
Not a moose smiling.
It's like, you ever seen an elk smile? No.
That sounds
it's
horrifying. That sounds horrifying.
Teeth on display, like everything's weird. It's but it does indeed. There's this moment of understanding and joy that comes across it before the color switches back to white. The flames this time engorge with a white flame, and it attempts to strike towards you once again. And misses. The strike indeed whiffs straight past you. As you're a little too hard to hit right now.
The
floor is yours.
So close. It's a 19 on the die. Give it to me.
Render unto me what is mine.
Oh, well, this one I didn't get in the box. Okay. Woof. 3 force. 9 piercing. Oh wait, no, sorry. Not just 9 piercing. 15 piercing is what I meant to say. Forgot that D6. And then 11 acid.
Nice. Beautiful stuff.
This thing's still staring at me?
Yes, although it is looking visibly weathered from your strikes. It has definitely taken quite a bit of damage at this point.
Now he wipes its blood off like in the inner I don't know what this is called. Elbow crease. That's not the word.
The crook of your arm.
The crook of my arm. And I just look at this, whatever this thing is. Yield.
Make me a persuasion or intimidation check, whichever you'd prefer.
We'll say...
I will say instead of your charisma, use your wisdom.
My wisdom?
Yes. This is more of a combination of your skill with creatures than it is your skill with a person. This is you trying to... You know, this is more of your force of will in regards to your natural self. So...
I'd say it's, at this point, it's intimidation from her. That's a 19.
Okay. The creature pauses for a moment, looks towards you, Looks towards the wounds that it has sustained. Looks back towards you. And there's this very low, deliberate bow. My lady, I think that my job for now is complete. They slowly rise back up. They look past you.
I turn ready to throw my dagger. I think what I say actually is if she sees a figure there, she's going to throw her dagger at it.
You see behind you the immediate recognizable silhouette of a feminine figure clad in a black Morticia Adams style long kind of dress that is very form fitting. These kind of like long tassels across the arms themselves that kind of hang loosely at the end, the long nails, and the very confident stance of someone very familiar to you as they look towards you for a moment and look past towards the creature. Penna, you have done your job well. Come back to me. The creature nods once and begins stepping towards the figure before she locks eyes directly with you. Nawi Brightscale.
What is the meaning of this?
Come, let us sit by the fire and I will tell you all that you need to know.
I collect up my gear, look at the lance because it was a bit away, and cautiously walk over.
She very calmly steps her way towards your camp, following your direction. There's a glide to her steps. You've seen it before, but here, with the backdrop of everything so relatively mundane, it seems almost more magical. She makes her way towards, takes a look at the collection of creatures off to the side, and makes direct contact with the Lupa. A slight smile crosses her face as she respectfully nods towards your companion before taking a seat at the fire.
I get like some fruit, some like quick bread that I probably made or something earlier in the day, and put it out like near ish the fire. Then kind of like wrapping up my hand or something. Uh, why are you here, Lady Umbra? What is wrong? Why did you send something to attack me?
I will keep it direct and as succinct as I can. Situations between the realms are concerning right now. As much as I dislike direct intervention, as much as the Veil dislikes direct intervention, You have wandered your way into the middle of this. You are going to be, well, you have been a very important part of this tale, and you will continue to be so. In that case, I felt like it was my due diligence to make sure that you weren't going to suddenly drop dead halfway through one of your escapades. You know that the few other people that I have restored have, for the most part, stayed inside of the Veil.
I know.
It is an anomaly that one such as yourself is still so active, so skilled, so powerful outside of the Veil, despite the unique circumstances.
You mean the fact that half my soul is gone?
That that a part of you has been displaced, yes. I would not say gone, exactly. Your synthesis is a unique one.
I know. I am grateful for my gifts. I'm sorry. I am just. Why did you attack me? Why did you not just come say hello? And you are not the first person to be worried about me dying. Why is everyone worried about me dying?
I needed to make sure that the bonds were still intact. I needed to make sure that I could see for my own eyes that things were alright. That things were still holding in place, that the magics were still working, that if I attacked you, Lupa wouldn't suddenly disappear. If something happened here, that you wouldn't suddenly disappear or drop dead, or...
I am fine. Lupa is fine. We've been in a lot of fights. I can even call parts of Zaway now, and I cast Summon Fae.
Hmm.
It is a very small part, obviously, but things are. I am. You said I have a big part to play. I've been playing a big part. What do you mean?
This situation that you find yourself in, these creatures from another realm, these rebels from another realm that are intent on breaching this plane. It is incredibly unlikely that they will just stop here. People who take by force often continue to take. It's one of the first lessons that we attempt to help people unlearn in the Veil. Take only what you need, not what you want.
Did you know that I was going to die that day? Is this part of some plan?
I knew that you were important. I know that everyone who comes to the Vale is important in their own way, of course. There's not intrinsically more value on one person than another, but
But I'm important in some special way. There's something I'm supposed to do.
She lingers on a thought for a few moments, just going through things in her head before responding to you. You are a powerful individual, Naui Brightscale. And I don't just mean the gifts that you have been bestowed and the talents that you have honed. You have a natural force of will, probably from your mother's side. You are dedicated, you are steadfast, you are loyal, and you will push through whatever boundary that comes in your way. Whatever wall you come across, you will break it down, whether that be by strikes, by weapon, or by tooth and nail if you have to. People can be confident, people can be determined, people can be driven. But individuals quite so determined are rare. It is not so much that you have been predetermined that you're supposed to do something, as so much it is that you have proven yourself to be an incredible individual who could do something. I want you to understand that. You're not stuck in the whims of destiny or fate. Your path is always your own. I simply realized that there was far, far more potential to be used. Far more potential for you to explore, and whatever forces compelled me to make sure that you had a chance to do that.
Do you know everything that's going on then with the Iravathun and this? Is there is like a dragon whose name I forget right now.
I'm aware of the history of this plane.
Do you know how we can destroy him?
That I'm unsure of. From what I understand, from the information that you have gathered, that your allies have gathered, seems like many of these world-threatening events were constructed by this Aravathun. Unfortunately, that might mean running into those threats once again, or if you can find a way to sever Aravathun from his power, perhaps you can cut the head off of the snake before it bites.
So you think all of these things going on are part of the plan? They are like not traps, like. But there is this person in Evil, and they played this game of these like big metal and wood pieces, and they had to move a certain way. And if you did enough moves, you would get someone in checkmate where it didn't matter what they did. Do you feel like a Ravathun is doing that to us with all of these things that we keep running to go do?
That is exactly what I think he's doing.
So we should ignore them and see what things aren't happening. Someone told me about a few places that I haven't heard anyone else talk about. The Blessed Genesis, and also the Devil's Tomb, where dragons used to be from. No one else has talked about them or mentioned them or seemed to want to check on them, and those seem like they were pretty important places to a Ravathun. Do you know about those places? Maybe they have a clue.
The the tomb itself is a large island. Used to be called the Scale Heart. Used to be where dragons would live and commune with each other. This rather large landmass where some would stay, some would leave to go and forge their own destinies. It's
Like the
not,
Veil.
not unlike the Vale in that regard, yes. But it was their home for a very, very long time. Until this was corrupted. A battle broke out, many were harmed. An entire conflict was waged on this plane of Vis and his allies against the regular folks of this world. And at the very end of that, Scaleheart was no more. The land was dead, barren, cut off completely from the magical worlds. It was just dead. That was also the site where Vis was sealed, thrown into the abyssal plane, never to be seen again.
Hmm. The Viz served a Ravathun.
The
It's
information that
a,
you've gathered seems to confirm that.
I I am no expert on history and conflicts, and not that you are an expert, but it seems like you know a lot. But would it not make sense that a Ravathun would want one of their, I don't know, like generals back?
I believe that's the plan. Truly, with all the information that you've gathered,
We have to
the
get there. With the Blessed Genesis, it is getting weak. I don't know if I could help with that, but if you could find other magic users like you that are strong, it's like a barrier, right?
there was indeed a barrier set up. Yes, a ward to attempt to stop anyone bringing this back or this bringing themselves back. That is one of the places I would look. The other is more closely related to this Blessed Genesis. It is related tangentially, but not directly. You remember how we were just talking about the pieces moving across the
Yes.
board. It would appear that that is another piece. The Genesis is more of a nickname in common, but it is the site of where the monarch attempted to break their way through this plane. They are an archfey, to put it simply, a powerful being that, while incredibly powerful, was not happy with the realm of the Feywild that they had ruled over and governed over for a very, very long time. Decided instead to take a step into this plane and make it their own. Sound familiar?
Yes. So, why do so many people want this place? Everything, this monarch that I just found out about. I'm sure there's another person. Why do so many? What is here?
Judging by the information that you gave us while you were in the Vale and what your other allies have picked up, it seems like the monarch was also under Ravathun's sway. So I think perhaps the question is not what all of these individuals want, but what they want. And
And
that I unfortunately cannot answer.
now he thinks for a bit. And she knows what Ravathun wants. I think I know the answer to that, Lady Umbra, but it is one of those things, where the less people who see you move the piece, the better.
She nods once.
When I get, I have to, is the Devil's Tomb still here? Can I still get to it here?
A boat should be able to take you there relatively easily. If you have a method of flight, even more so. Do you
Hmm.
have a map on your person?
Yes. And I take out the world map that Naui's been making because she can perfectly map anywhere she's been.
As you pull the map out, there's a small smile of recognition that comes across their face before she leans forward and takes a look. With a long fingernail, she taps against the map itself, draws a little cross on a small island to the east of where you are currently, out in the ocean. And as she taps on it, the drawing of like her nail turns to ink. She draws a small kind of black X. You're going to want to be careful. The island itself has been abandoned for a very, very long time, but we all know what that really means.
Yes, I just came from an abandoned wasteland that was very much not abandoned.
These people are very bad at assigning words to things.
It is hard. There are only so many ways to convey what you mean.
Most certainly.
I have two more questions.
Then ask them.
One, and I take out one of the feathers. Do you know what kind of creature this belonged to? I found it on somebody who had stolen it.
They hold a hand out slowly.
I hand it over.
She traces it between her fingers, kind of just letting it float a little in her hand. She weighs it left and right, almost like testing out a sword of sorts. She just holds it. There's a perhaps surprising you for a moment, Nawi. You've never seen Lady Umbra with a physical weapon, but she seems relatively comfortable with it in her hand, with the movements. She looks across, and for a brief moment, there's a recognition and a bit of sadness that comes across her face. This was, at one point, belonging to a celestial creature. But it's not that way anymore.
I'm sorry. I did help kill whoever stole it.
Good.
The other question I have, you are one of the most knowledgeable, powerful, and mysterious people of the Vale. We don't even know if he lived there fully, which does not matter, but I'm sure you know we whisper. I'm sure we know we talk. Do you know where Nevin is? Do you commune with them? Do they answer you?
They hand the weapon back. Nevin is. Hmm. What do you think?
I think that Nevin is alive some kind of way somewhere. I hope in Evil. I hope that they have not abandoned us, and I hope that when we need them, they will help. Because I I am strong and my friends are strong, but what is coming? Who is coming? I think we will need a lot of help to do a lot of things, and I feel like they are one of them. There was this vision that I was shown, and it felt like Nevin was there, and the other dragons that were in this vision, some of them are still here, and they will fight, but I think they will need their friend the way I need my friends.
I certainly understand that. Nevin is a complicated subject. Once again, and you brought it up yourself, actually. The less you know about the moving of pieces is sometimes better. But what I can tell you is that whatever brings you comfort is probably correct.
That is, I have a final question. Actually, I lied. Um, I know I am very busy, and that you are very busy. Oh, I know that I am very busy, and that you are very busy. But the person that was at my ceremony that uh I tried to make sure nobody let her see me naked. Uh well, I'm hoping to do the bonding ritual, and I would like for you to be there when it happens. I don't know where to send a message to you, so I assume you will just, I don't know, have a scrying orb somewhere so you know when it's happening. I tried to send you a bird once, and the bird just came back and shrugged at me.
I am incredibly good at not being found.
Mm, I know, but so I'm telling you now because I will not be able to try and tell you again to whatever you do and however you keep tabs on things going on to just, know when to show up, please. You saved my life, and you helped me save Lupa's life. I wouldn't get to have this life if it wasn't for you, and it feels wrong to do something so big without you there. I will keep a corner extra dark for you to hide in if you want.
During this, whatever further escapades you get into, I will make sure that the necessary materials are gathered and stored in waiting.
Thank you.
I'm usually incredibly content to sit and wait in the shadows, to let people grow and learn in their own time, and simply just make small nudges in the right direction. I don't doubt your power, nor your capacity, nor those of your allies. But sometimes it helps to have a reassuring hand on your shoulder. I cannot promise to be watching all of the time. There are many other matters that I cannot go into,
It's okay.
but I will be watching this a little closer. Both to ensure that all of the magics that have been placed on you hold, to make sure that that life does indeed carry on, but also so that no matter what happens, there's always a hand in the darkness that you can reach out to.
I am always here for you too. I know my mother doesn't like you because she doesn't like anyone she can't learn secrets of. But I think you're okay, and I would like to know your trick to make sure my mother doesn't find out things about me I don't want her to. It is getting late. I am sure you say no or say sure and then disappear, but you are welcome to stay and travel with us as long as you wish. But I should get some sleep. I have quite a herd to move tomorrow.
Evidently. One last thing. She reaches into one of her sleeves and pulls out this very small, very plain black and white wooden box. She opens it up, and inside is a small pillow, and on top, holds a single black rose petal. She hands it over to you and says, "This is an incredibly rare and complicated situation. I have only handed out a few of these in my entire lifetime, but considering the stakes of things, it feels appropriate. If you snap the petal, just rip it directly in half, you will have a single, direct, unblockable connection to me wherever I am. You will be able to send me a message, whether that be for something important and life-threatening, or whether that be for a certain someone else. It'll be in your possession."
I understand.
She seems a little hesitant herself. Not towards you, but a little bit of an internal monologue that kind of goes across her eyes. Not one of worry or concern, just an internal analyzing of the situation, so to speak, before she hands it over to you.
I would take it, kind of fudging some magic here. I think I would like move my hand across it and sort of this like shimmery like magic like of the veil encompasses it, so it's like laminated until I can have Dawn actually put in something so it doesn't get hurt.
I like it. I like it.
Thank you, um, for everything. And I get up to go lay down, and I'm like, "Can I give you a hug?"
She pauses for a moment, smiles. "I don't remember you being the affectionate type."
I recently met the little girl you saved, and I wasn't able to help her the way you were. And she can't say thank you now, and she didn't know how to say thank you then, so I want to say thank you for her.
She nods, and her arms outstretch.
I think now he gives her a hug and cries for a good, like, 2 minutes. Probably too long for this golf lady. Uh, Before eventually stepping back and giving, like, a very quick bow and, kind of walking hurriedly over to Lupa.
Lupa has been relaxed for the most part, looking across this scenario, but also kind of checking the animals at the same time, just making sure that they're still calm in the presence of this stranger. She notices you approaching and kind of does the usual kind of like pup thing where they have like their head across
Mm-hmm.
their paws and like
Mm-hmm.
pops up for a moment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think I feel like after all of that, I'm like emotionally spent. I probably just pass out.
That's fair. As you take a moment to approach Lupa and look back towards Lady Umbra, she is gone. But there
She
is
always
a
does that. I say to Lipa, she's always just gone. You know, it's so. It's. I mean, I get it. If I could do that, I would do that too.
as you get ready to take your rest, there's a slight shimmer that slowly creeps its way into the area as these small silver bioluminescent fireflies begin to scatter across the scene. They're hopefully, a small comfort as you find yourself to rest. The night passes uneventful. You can, of course, look after yourselves, take your watches as you normally would, that kind of thing. Um, is there anything else in this little interlude that you would like to cover?
No, I think the rest is very normal. I think every night now we sets it like sets up a space for Lady Umbra because she doesn't know. I don't know. It's like the weird in between space. Like after you have a really emotional night with someone, and then like the next day is a normal day, and it feels weird. It's just a normal day, so you kind of like get ready for it to be not be normal, and then it's normal. And like I think the rest of the time is like that until like the emotion wears off, and what's left is the logistics of like get back, get everyone's mount safe, get to the capital. We need to get to the Devil's Tomb. Uh, but I think it's just that.
Okay. You can certainly go ahead and get those, certainly get that sorted and make your way back to the group. And the next time we pick up after their little night out and after your travel back, um, we can go ahead and loop you back in with the party and continue the journey, continue the story.
Probably find out there are phoenixes. Like, probably by walking into the place and being like, oh, they hatched, huh? Guess that Phoenix Wrangler isn't here yet from the Vale. All right, well, good luck.
Oh, alright.
I'd probably just send a bird like, could the Phoenix Wrangler get here faster? Thank you.
Hey, like, today, please.
We needed them, how long they hatch? We needed them 2 weeks ago, apparently. Your deadline was 2 weeks ago. I'm really sorry. This isn't a personal thing. Your turnover passed. But yeah, I think that's it. I'm good.
Beautiful stuff. Alright, well, in that case, thank you so much for joining me for this little
Thank you.
one-on-one, Austin.
Absolutely.
Why don't you go ahead and let people know where to find you?
No!
Fine.
Tune in next week to find out where to find me. Cliffhanger.
The strangest cliffhanger, but I like it. Yeah, cool. Well, thank you so much, everyone, for watching on this other side. You heard it here first. Tune in next week. You got to now. Austin's told you to. We'll pick up the rest of the story next week. Yeah, thank you so much. Take care, hydrate, medicate, all of that good stuff. Keep moving forward, and we'll see you on next week's episode of The Mind of the Martyr. Take care now. Bye!